And still that is the case. India has got a huge population of people who are living in the forest, in the interior mostly, away from roads and away from civilization, and they subsist on the products of the forest. And I've been very fortunate to visit one or two of those villages, and I've watched the women and the men with piles of forest produce that making, you know, these paper plates and paper cups that we sometimes have, they're all made in the forest. I've actually seen them being made and stacking up in a sort of a grass hut, which are a big barn really, but made of bamboo and stuff to shelter them. I've seen their workplace where they manufacture these things, beautifully done by hand. So in this case, the woman came from the forest and she's sowing the fruit. And in both these verses, the word fruit, which is colour, is repeated many times. And there's a very poetic reason for that, because she's bringing the fruit for Krishna, and Krishna is playing a pastime. But, oh yes, I want some of that fruit. But Krishna is also, as Prabhupada points out in his translation, he is the one who gives fruit to everyone. In the Bhagavad Gita, the word fruit is used to describe, you know, the fruits of our actions. That everything that we work for in this world ultimately is given to us by Krishna. And yet at the same time, here is Krishna coming and asking for fruit. So that's a pastime of an exchange, ultimately an exchange of love. So let me read Srila Prabhupada's purport. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Patram pushpam palam taram, yome bhaktya prachati, tadaham bhakti upakritam, asnami pranatapmana. Krishna is so kind that if anyone offers him a leaf, a fruit, a flower, or some water, he will immediately accept it. The only condition is that these things should be offered with bhakti. Yome bhaktya prayachati. Otherwise, if one is puffed up with false prestige, thinking, I have so much opulence, and I am giving something to Krishna, one's offering would not be accepted by Krishna. The fruit vendor, although a woman belonging to the poor Aborigine class, dealt with Krishna with great affection, saying, Krishna, you have come to me to take some fruit in exchange for grains. All the grains have fallen, but still, take whatever you like. Thus she filled Krishna's palms with whatever fruits he could carry, and in exchange Krishna filled her whole basket with jewels and gold. From this incident one should learn that anything offered to Krishna with love and affection, Krishna can reciprocate for many millions of times over, both materially and spiritually. The basic principle involved is an exchange of love. Therefore Krishna teaches in Bhagavad Gita, Yat karoshi, yadashnasi, yat juhosi, yadasiya, yat tapasyasi konteya, tat kurishvan mardapanam. O son of Kunti, all that you do, all that you eat, all that you offer and give away, as well as all austerities you may perform, should be done as an offering to me. With love and affection one should try to give something to Krishna from one's own income. Then one's life will be successful. Krishna is full in all opulences. He doesn't need anything from anyone. But if one is prepared to give something to Krishna, that is for one's own benefit. The example given in this connection is that when one's real face is decorated, the reflection of one's face is automatically decorated. Similarly, if we try to serve Krishna with all our opulences, we as parts and parcels, or reflections of Krishna, will become happy in exchange. Krishna is always happy, for he is Atma Rama, fully satisfied with his own opulence. So we had this word Atma Rama in the Chaitanya Charitamrita also, which describes the self, the Atma, the person, the self, who is completely satisfied, Atma Rama. And that quality particularly belongs to Krishna. And here Prabhupada gives the example that if you decorate your face in the mirror, then the face in the mirror is also decorated. The point being that we are, Prabhupada says, we are reflections of Krishna. So we also have this capacity to be Atma Rama, to be satisfied. That in fact is the nature of every one of us, to be satisfied, to be happy. Once I was in the Los Angeles temple, Prabhupada arrived and gave a lecture, and at one point he looked towards Radha and Krishna and he said, "See, Radharani is always smiling." So he said, everyone in the temple should always be smiling. That is our natural condition. And that is possible. In the material world it's very difficult to always be smiling, although sometimes people are very good at, wearing a smile, but underneath the smile there are tears. However, if we give something to Krishna, Prabhupada says, like decorating the face, if we decorate Krishna's face, the face in the mirror is also decorated. If we offer something for the pleasure of Krishna, then we will also become pleased. It's really, really simple. And Krishna underlines how simple it is in the Bhagavad Gita when he says, Patram Pushpam Palam Toyam, which means a leaf, a flower, a fruit, some water. These things can be offered to Krishna and he will accept them, because what we're offering him actually is not the flower itself, it's the love. And that's what Krishna is wanting from us. So there are many stories like this story of someone who gave a little thing to Krishna and got an amazing reward. This story is particularly beautiful that because she was actually offering the fruits for the villagers, and Krishna, being a little child, he'd seen his father or his mother going and buying the fruits, and he knew that they bartered. In that time the system was to barter, so they would take grains of rice and exchange them for fruits. So he picked up in his hands a pile of rice, and he's only got tiny little hands, and he couldn't hold them properly. So he's running, we can just see with great eagerness, the little child is running out with great excitement, oh, fruit, and wanting to offer the rice, but in the child's excitement he's dropping the rice all over the ground. How lucky we are, that we can, by Prabhupada's inestimable mercy upon us, these stories of course have been there in India for thousands of years, and the image of Child Krishna is so popular in every household, especially Gujarati household. You see Balakrishna, little Child Krishna, holding a sweet in his hand. But in the West we didn't have that. So Prabhupada has given it to the whole world, these wonderful stories of Krishna, so that we no longer have to think of God as being some frightening judge in the sky, which some people would wish us to think of God in that way. If we want God to be a frightening judge, then he can be that if we want, but that's actually not how he wishes to be seen. He wishes to be seen as a loving companion, a friend, a protector, and in this case even a child.